Good morning, students, or good afternoon, students. In this pre-recorded video, I'll be discussing two modules. Module 11, which is about follower performance, effectiveness, and potential. And Module 12, which is about groups, teams, and their leadership. Chapter 11 focuses on follower performance and unit and team effectiveness, while Chapter 12 is more about teams and teamwork being buzzwords. Let us first learn together from Module 11. As explained, performance is what individual followers accomplish and the behaviors exhibited to achieve results, while team effectiveness concerns collective results. Follower performance falls into two major categories, referred to as the what and the how of performance. The what pertains to task and goal accomplishment, while the how is behaviors directed toward the accomplishment of team or organizational goals. Following are the key terms introduced in Module 11. Absenteeism leadership. It occurs when leaders are so busy traveling, attending meetings, or being preoccupied, they have little time for their followers and teams. Time-wasting leaders unintentionally assign work or set rules detrimental to a team's overall performance. Another, presenteeism. Can you recall what we have learned in the previous slide about presenteeism? In a virtual class meeting, that only means that the participant is virtually logged in but mentally logged out. Executive magnification occurs when leaders engage in idle conversations that followers misinterpret as work mandates. What about cookie leaking? It occurs when leaders cannot let go of actions or decisions that should be delegated to staff or subordinates. Performance management style. The first component of this style or cycle is planning, which involves developing a thorough understanding of the team's or organization's goals, context, behaviors, and how to do things. The second component is monitoring, which includes tracking follower performance, goals, progress, and the needed resources. Next is evaluating. In this cycle, which makes up the third component, it entails and provides some type of summary feedback on job performance to followers. Like follower performance, there are several aspects of team or organizational effectiveness measures that are worth noting, such as criterion contamination. This occurs when effectiveness measures are affected by factors unrelated to follower performance. Then we have balanced scorecard, usually comprised of the most critical scorecard goals from the sales team, marketing team, operations team, and so on. It usually provide feedback on goal progress on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, whereas balanced scorecard are generated on a monthly or quarterly basis. Then we have force multiplier. It's someone who makes the rest of the team better. What about team killers? These are individuals who inhibit rather than enhance overall team effectiveness. Therefore, be a force multiplier. Then we have readiness, which is an evaluation of a follower's immediate promotability. And for a follower to be promoted, okay, there are these three items. Ready now followers, they are those who need no additional training or experience. Ready 12 months followers need a year of training and experience. Ready 36 months need 3 more years of seasoning and training. Therefore, always achieve. Ready now followers. The 9-box matrices. These are used to evaluate the performance and potential of followers, and this is usually done once per year during calibration meetings when they are using these replacement tables or formulating high potential programs. The best approach includes both ratings, personality and intelligence results, and candidates use team effectiveness quotient scores. This team effectiveness quotient, or TQ, is a person's ability to build loyal following and get a group of people working effectively together to achieve team goals. Now, let us learn together from Module 12. Question: what is the difference between group work and teamwork? There are two identifying characteristics of groups. Okay, these are mutual interaction and reciprocal influence. A group is composed of two or more persons who are interacting with one another in such a manner that each person influences and influence each other person. Groups and organizations are not the same thing, though groups exist within organization. It's not the other way round. There are 6 concepts which are so basic to the group perspective that they deserve attention. These are the group size, stages of group development, group roles, group norms, group cohesion, and group communication. Now, as a group progresses, different stages of development are passed through. The first stage is forming. It is characterized by polite conversation, the gathering of superficial information about fellow members, and low trust. Then you have the second stage, which is storming. Usually, It's marked by intra-group conflict, heightened emotional levels, and status differentiation. This stage is where the clear emergence of a leader and the development of group norms and cohesiveness. This stage is called the norming stage. Finally, groups reach the performing stage, when group members play functional, interdependent roles focus on the performance of group tasks. So may I encourage each and every group you are going through, and you will go through the different stages of group development. And I hope that you will reach the performing stage where you're going to play your independent and interdependent roles, functioning as a member of the group who is influenced and is being influenced by each other. Now, in every group, there is role conflict, which occurs for several reasons. One is intragender role conflict, occurs when the same persons sends mixed signals. Intergender role conflict occurs when someone receives inconsistent signals from several others about expected behavior. Then, interrole conflict occurs when someone is unable to perform all of their roles as well as they would like. And then you have person-role conflict occurs when role expectations violate a person's values. A different sort of role problem is called role ambiguity, when there is a lack of clarity about what the expectations are. So as much as possible in a group, avoid these role conflicts. Group cohesion. It's the glue that keeps a group together. Overbounding. This can block the use of outside resources that could make groups more effective. Groupthink. Assign at least one member of the group that role as devil's advocate. Oleism. A variation of groupthink occurs when illegal actions are taken by overly zealous and loyal subordinates who believe that what they are doing will please their leaders. So out of this four, maintain and always observe group cohesion and avoid the other three. In this video slide, you have the team leadership model, which is a mechanism to first identify what a team needs to be effective, and then to point the leader either toward the roadblocks that are hindering the team or toward ways to make the team even more effective than it already is. With the movement toward the global marketplace, it is appropriate to consider the difficulties and solutions for leading geographically dispersed teams, or the GDTs. For simplicity, this is called the virtual teams. But this is different from virtual meeting. Virtual meeting can be done by a group, by a team, or by individuals. It doesn't necessarily the virtual team. Two emerging themes are worth noting as we move forward in leading groups and teams. One is collective leadership, of which there are 5 approaches. 1. Team leadership. 2. Network leadership. 3. Shared leadership. 4. Complexity leadership. And lastly, collective leadership. Which do you think your group belongs? Another new concept seems more appealing. This is the clustered, or it's also similar to grouping, which in this case, this is a self-managed intact teams. They are formed outside a company, but hired and paid as a unit, a permanent part of the company. They manage, they govern, and they develop themselves and appear as a unit in the organizational chart. Virtual teams are here to stay and present their own challenges, while emerging concepts such as collective leadership and cluster lie on the horizon. That's all for modules 11 and 12. Thank you very much for watching and for listening. And here are the references.